One of the things that also will probably happen is you'll be asked to put lines in the slope-intercept form, which is that guy right there, y equals mx plus b. If you've done anything with the equations before, this is more than likely the form you were asked to put them in or the form that they were in. Again, slope is the equation, slope is m, so m is the slope. One thing that might happen is b is the y-intercept. Okay, so if you're asked to find the y-intercept, then you need it in this form. So the one thing that I'm going to tell you about this form is, a lot of times you're going to get questions that say, hey, there's a line and it's formed, this is its equation. Okay, and they'll ask you to do something with that line. You know, maybe they'll say, what's the slope, or they'll say, what's the y-intercept, or they might say, create a new line that's parallel to that line. Any of those situations require you to take this equation right here and get y by itself so that you can figure out the slope and the y-intercept or whatever you need. So we're going to have to be able to do some algebra here carefully. And I say carefully because there's going to be negative signs flying around. I'm going to have to do divisions, and I don't necessarily want decimals when I'm doing this stuff. So if I go through and do this, I get y equals. Now, I've got two things to divide. I've got that one, and I've got that one. I really don't want decimals when I'm doing any kind of graphing because they mess up what I'm trying to do when I'm trying to make different slopes. So you have the option of just leaving those as fractions no matter what, or you can put them in the calculator, and if it comes out to be a whole number, you can leave it alone. So this one's -5, 10 divided by -2 is -5. And then you have to be like ultra careful with the signs. That's a negative over a negative, so it's a positive. 3 over 2 is 1.5. Now, you write down 1.5, it's not going to be a huge deal in terms of it just ask you a question about what's the slope or something. But if you have to do anything with that slope, meaning get parallel, perpendicular, it's going to cause all kinds of problems. So I'm going to tell you that unless that slope comes out to be a whole number, leave it as a fraction. All right. Now, how do I know that's the slope? Because it is the number in front of the x. All right. So this right here is the m, positive 3 over 2. Okay. This right here, which I probably really won't ever need, all right, I might, is the b, which is the y-intercept. Okay, if they ask me what the y-intercept is, I would say 0, -5, because that's where it would cross the y-axis. All right, but most important from that is what the slope is, and that's what we're going to be looking for all times here. I've got a worked out example where I kind of did it all and typed it so it looked nice and neat. If you want to look through that, great. But if not, just go down and start looking at some of the problems. It is incredibly important that you understand this. This is going to be a huge topic on our assessment. It's going to be a huge topic on the Regents exam. It's one of these things that we can tell you there's going to be 1 or 2 questions on this in the Regents exam. That's why it's so important. So make sure that if you're doing this, you try at least a few of these problems in each the level 1 and the level 2. And by a few, I mean some from all the way down through. So don't just do like 1, 2, and 3 and then move on. Do 1, 2, and then 5, and then 7, and then maybe the last one. Try some of the online stuff if you want to. I spent some time making those equations so that there's lots of different examples in there for you to try out and take a look at. And ask questions if you have issues, because this is super, super important for you to know how to